Hey everyone, it's Julie at the Paper Bag Lady 1, and I am coming to you today with something completely different. Well, not completely different, but different for me. I am actually coming to you with a design team project. My friend Mo at ButterBeeScraps asked me if I would be willing to do a guest design team project for her. And I said, well, sure I would. So I have done an album and I'm going to show it to you. But first I'm going to show you what I used in this album. And for some reason I'm really nervous about doing this video. I don't know why. It's not like I think Mo's gonna like smack me or anything. But anyway, so here are some things that I use. So I will show them to you. And these are things that she has in her store at the moment. And I'm sorry, I didn't write down all the numbers and things like that for them. But they're in there. So we have those two filigrees. And we have these two. We have this one. This is my friend Monica's favorite one. And then we have these, which in this album I actually cut them all in half and then used them almost kind of to look like little hinges. So we have that, and we have this one. And these are all bronze. Some of these she has in other colors as well. Here we have all these little teeny weeny guys, which I just love. Whoops, I have a bad camera. I love this guy. So we have those, and this one too. We have a big leaf and a little leaf. We have a corner. And we have these two fun little yoo-hoos. We have two keys. This one is a flat key, and then this one, as you can see, is dimensional. And then we have some closures, and I think she's called this one a hitch fastener. Whoopsies. Well, it's a little screw, and then this little thing screws on. And then I used this one as well. Now this one I only had in silver. I believe that she does have it in bronze when I checked on her store this morning. But I only had it in silver. There are a couple things that I only had in silver. So you should see me with the few alcohol inks that I have and paint and things trying to get these some sort of bronze color. I don't have lots and lots of things like alcohol inks or rub and buffs, or you know, the kind of that sort of metal thing. So I kind of have to make do with what I have, as you will see when I go through the album more and show you some other things too. But anyway, so there was this as well. So now there are other metal pieces in the album, which some of them she used to have in her store, some of them she has in her store in other colors. She had offered to send me some stuff, but I already had so much that I told her no. So I kind of was working with what I had. So this is an album that I did actually for my daughter's social studies teacher. Tomorrow is the last day of school. This is a 6x9 paper bag album, and I used the Hidden Hinge binding system. This year in social studies, Joy studied basically ancient cultures. So ancient Egypt, China, India, Greece, Rome, all that sort of thing. So I actually, that's the theme of this album. So let me show you here. Here's that one piece that I cut in half. And then this one I actually also cut in half. Here's the key, this little round doodad. And then this one, which I punched a hole in the middle of with my crocodile. A lot of these punch really easily and cut very easily too. And these are just some chipboard gears that I used Vintage Photo Distress ink to color. And then Scrabble tiles. And, ooh, I can't remember what game that's from. I don't think it's Dig. I think those are bigger tiles. It's some old children's game. And then these are just some chipboard letters that I have, which again I also used the Distress ink to color. I have terrible light in this room. And then what I basically did was just print off maps from all these ancient places. And then I distress inked the edges, first with Vintage Photo, followed by Walnut. I know, I never ink things, but I did it. And I even actually inked the edges of the paper bag, which kind of staggers the mind a little bit. But then there's the edge, pretty simple, and then the back just has these two here. And then what I did for this closure, now, you have to know that I don't normally work with jewelry things, with chains, with jump rings, with any kind of things like that. So I don't have a lot of tools, I don't have a lot of options available to me, but this is what I wanted to do. So you had to see me try to do this. It took forever. But basically what I did is I just took an eyelet here. Now this I did not get from Mo. She does have eyelets at ButterBeeScraps, but I don't have any from her. This was just a brown eyelet that I painted copper. And then I have a really thin, or not copper, bronze. I have a thin bronze chain there and some jump rings that I kind of hooked it around through. And again, this is not the exact chain that she has, or the jump rings or split rings, but she has all of these things available. And then here's the key that I got from her. And then I used this bigger chain, which I actually got from, it's the industrial chic. I got it at Michael's. And here's that that clasp thing that I painted, bronze. And then it hooks at the back the same way. And like I said, these are not the exact chains that she has. She does have some thick bronze chain and then some real thin stuff too. So if I had asked her to send me stuff, I would have asked her to send me some of that, but I didn't. So let's just unhook this if I can and go inside. So here we go. Here's the first layout, and this is Ancient Egypt. So here on this side, and this took me forever too, here are those little hitch fastener things, which I did 8 of them, 2 or 4 sets of 2 up the side of the page, and then took some of my chain and just kind of wrapped it around. By this point I was really frustrated with I actually don't have split rings, I had jump rings, but I had a heck of a time getting them over here, and so finally I just gave up and used some wire that I had and attached it that way. Total cheating! But you get the point. And then most of these are Prima flowers. The ones that are designed are all Prima flowers, and then the ones that are just coffee dyed are either I Am Roses or what's the other one? Wild Orchid Crafts. And then as you can see, here is some of her metal. There's a little one there. And then this one, which I actually had to punch a hole in the center of that one. And this is one that actually was not from her shop that I had in my stash. And then here's that corner. And then over on this page, we have another one of those filigrees that I cut in half to make it look like hinges. More Ancient Egypt. Here is a stamp of a sundial, which I clear embossed because the sundial was invented in Ancient Egypt. And here's a stamp of the pyramids, which I had. Here is another leaf. This is not a leaf from Mo's store. I don't know if she ever had it at one point or not, but it was just from my stash, as was this snake, which I thought worked very well with the Ancient Egypt thing. Here's that, where is it? This guy here, who's down in the corner here, kind of layered with all the things. This one is also not from Mo's store, but I did notice that she has a 5-petal flower that is similar to this, except that the edges are, they look more like shamrock edges. They're kind of, you know, curvy. So if you like something like that, you can get something similar from her. So there we are in Ancient Egypt. Let's turn the page, and we're going to Mesopotamia. And if I was looking up, and if I have my history correct, what you call it, Phoenicia is somewhere in that general vicinity. But the Phoenicians actually were the first. The Phoenicians did a lot of trading with a lot of people in the ancient world, and they actually invented what has come to be our alphabet so that all these different places could communicate through writing. So that's why we have the ABCs here. Here, oops, my little flower. Here we have 2 of those little leaves and some more of the metal layered. And then here are some more of those corners. And then this is also Mesopotamia here. These are not from Mo's store. I think she might have had them at one point, but I know she doesn't anymore. But they're just circle filigrees that I just cut in half and adhered. And you could use any kind of filigree for that sort of thing. This one would actually look really well, and I did use this later in the album kind of in the same way. And then over here we have another leaf that is not currently in her store. Again, I'm not sure if it was at one point or not. I tried to limit myself just to metal that she is selling currently, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So there are some things from my stash in here, but this is from her store, and this one underneath, as well as this one. This one is not. This is just a really big bead cap that was flattened out. And then here we have the pen nib, because they also, with the the alphabet and writing, I figured that was appropriate. Over here we have ancient China. And some of these, in addition to the filigrees, are some charms and things that came from Mo's. Now this here is a compass, and the compass was invented in ancient China, if I am remembering my research correctly. Mo has this in her Bon Voyage charm set. However, it is in silver rather than bronze. I have a silver one too. I'm not sure if she sent me the bronze one or if that came from somewhere else. But she does have this in silver in the Bon Voyage set. Up here we have this watch mechanism part, which came from, she has a charm set called Watch Mechanisms. And I put that here because in ancient China they had the first mechanical clock. And then right here, as you can see, of course, is a little teapot and teacup. I thought that came from her tea time set, but when I looked at it, it's not the same. So whether she changed charms or I got this from somewhere else, I don't know, because I thought she sent this to me. But she does have teapot and teacup type charms in her tea time charm set. And then here we also stamped a compass-like thing and not dry embossed it. Clear embossed it. And then here is another one of those long filigrees that I cut in half. Over here we have ancient India, and here is a very large filigree corner. She does not have these in her store in bronze at the moment. She has several that are like this, and I think she still might have the 2 sizes in various other colors. But she currently does not have bronze. I think there's silver and maybe white, but I'm not 100% positive. And then up here I use those, those, whoops, he's flopping around, those hitch fasteners again, and then sort of dangled some chain there, and I don't really know why I did that. I just thought it would be cool. And why is that one looking crooked? Something's amiss. Anyway, so there we are in ancient India, and over here we have a little ruler charm. That is from the back to school charm set that Mo sells, and I have that on. It's silver actually in the charm set. I alcohol inked it gold and then sort of painted it over with bronze because in ancient China the first rulers were invented. And then here's a wooden button from my stash because I believe they were the first ones to have buttons. Like they used seashells with holes and would sew them onto the clothing. Here's another button, and then here is this big medallion thing, which for some reason just looked like it belonged in ancient India to me. And then this is just like a little Chinese coin type thing from my stash. Oops. So there's ancient India. Whoops, let's turn the page. Here we are in Greece, ancient Greece. And ancient Greece is where the first gears were used. They're not 100% sure, I don't think, that they were actually invented in Greece, but that the first record of them being used was in Greece. So we have some gears here. This one is from her, she has several different sets of gears. Some are multicolor, some are all one color, but this one is from Mo. These are actually just die cuts that I used, and then here's a stamp of, I think it's the Parthenon. And some more flowery things. Oh, and here's that medallion that I said I cut in half and used up the side there. And here's some more. We are in ancient Greece with some more gears. This one is from Mo. Now this one I only had in silver, so again I alcohol inked and painted it bronze. But I know she has them in all colors, and this little one came from Mo also. This is a corner that looks like that other corner, only smaller, and again she does not have this in bronze right now, but she does have some other colors. So there we go. And then finally on our last page we have ancient Rome, where this is where I used that big leaf, and then some more metal. This one I layered that little guy and kind of bent up some of it. And then this is obviously the Tim Holtz clock die, because Roman numerals, and they're Roman numerals. And here we have some more of those filigrees cut in half. And here's another one of those large corners. And then over here we have this large metal piece. This one is one from my stash that did not come from Mo. And then also the scissors came from her sewing room charm set, and that's in here because the first scissors were invented in ancient Rome. So, and then I've already shown you the back. So there's the album, and I know I was holding it very close to the camera, so I am just going to flip through it quickly so you can sort of see the overview or see the whole thing. I really hope that Joy's teacher likes this. I went back and forth about adding some things in there, you know, so some pages from books, and I have things, you know, with the Greek gods they studied, and I could have done that, but in the end I just decided to leave it like this, and she can leave it as it is, or if she wants to add pictures or things into it, she certainly can. But anyway, so Joy will take this to school tomorrow. I feel like whoops, I'm zoomed out as much. Oh look, I'm zoomed in. What a dork. Sorry, Mo, this isn't the most graceful of videos, but I had a totally great time using this stuff. So if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to ask. I will put a link to Mo's store in the description box, and you can go over and check out all this yummy metal. I love to use it in albums. I've done albums where I've just used metal. I've done albums where I've done the metal and the flowers like this, and you know, the metal looks really, really good with doilies too. So there is the unlocking, get it, keys, unlocking our past album for Joy's teacher. Mo, thank you so much for inviting me to do this for the month. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I had such a great time. So anyway, I thank you all for watching. Be sure to go check out Mo over on Zibbit. It's ButterBeeScraps. And I hope you are all having a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.